Welcome to Daily Scripture Reading. I do not own the rights to this music. Luke chapter 9, beginning at verse 28 and ending at verse 45. This is the Amplified Version. The Transfiguration. Now about 8 days after these teachings, he took along Peter and John and James and went up on the mountain to pray. As he was praying, the appearance of his face became different, actually transformed, and his clothing became white and flashing with the brilliance of lightning. And behold, 2 men were talking with him, and they were Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory, and were speaking of his departure from earthly life, which he was about to bring to fulfillment at Jerusalem. Now Peter and those who were with him had been overcome with sleep, but when they were fully awake, they saw his glory and splendor and majesty, and the 2 men who were standing with him. And as these men, Moses and Elijah, were leaving him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it is delightful and good for us to be here. We should make 3 sacred tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." Not realizing what he was saying, but even as he was saying this, a cloud formed and began to overshadow them, and they were greatly afraid as they entered the cloud. Then a voice came out of the cloud, saying, "This is my beloved Son, my chosen one. Listen and obey and yield to him." When the voice had ceased, Jesus was found there alone, and they kept silent and told no one at that time any of the things which they had seen concerning the divine manifestation. On the next day, when they came down from the mountain, a large crowd met him, and a man from the crowd shouted for help. "Teacher, I beg you, look at my son, because he is my only child, and a spirit seizes him, and suddenly he cries out, and it throws him into a convulsion, so that he foams at the mouth, and only with great difficulty does it leave him, mauling and bruising him as it leaves. I begged your disciples to cast it out, but they could not." Jesus answered, "You unbelieving and perverted generation, how long shall I be with you and put up with you? Bring your son here to me." Even while the boy was coming, the demon slammed him down and threw him into a violent convulsion. But Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit and healed the boy and gave him back to his father. They were all amazed, practically overwhelmed at the evidence of the greatness of God and his majesty and his wondrous work. But while they were still awed by everything Jesus was doing, he said to his disciples, "Let these words sink into your ears. The Son of Man is going to be betrayed and handed over to men who are his enemies." However, they did not understand this statement. Its meaning was kept hidden from them so that they would not grasp it, and they were afraid to ask him about it. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.